So pretty much all of our birds, except for Getty and Alex, came from the wild, where they were injured, they were either hit by a car, or shot, or poisoned, or whatever, unknown happening, and they were not able to be completely fixed. So they now reside here because they can't go back to living in the wild. They have a missing wing or blind in one eye, etc. Getty and Alex were actually captive raised at the Cincinnati Zoo. And if you are in the zoo world and you work at Mr. Bob's Zoo and you would like to have this particular animal on exhibit and you don't have it, you would call up your zoo friends and say, hey, do you have a breeding pair or an extra of this? And so the Cincinnati Zoo raised Getty and Alex. They were hatched at the zoo, and they raised them there on site, and they were then sent to the Lincoln Park Zoo in Chicago, where they worked for 15 years as education ambassadors in the education department. They then were sent to the Baton Rouge Zoo in Louisiana, and they ended up not exhibiting them or doing anything with them. They had them off-site for 2 years. And at that point in time, one of our friends here in Houston contacted his friend in Baton Rouge and said, hey, if you're not using those barn owls, the Houston Audubon has a new Raptor Center, and they can live out their retirement here, be well taken care of, and still get to do education programs. So they came to be with us in 2019, and Alex, his sister, is completely blind. He has cataracts, but he still gets around just fine. He helps his sister by calling and talking to her, guiding her in their barn where they live. They can both fully fly. So it's kind of a really neat relationship. Barn owls are found all over the world, except for the polar regions. They're probably the most recognized owl in the world, that distinctive heart-shaped face. They are built for the prairie and the country. And they expanded across this country as settlement grew and agriculture and open country expanded. The eastern forests were cleared. Their numbers grew as this country changed back throughout history. We do have them here in Harris County, the more rural parts of Houston. There are so many pockets in Houston that have big old horses and cows and small farms, and you can find them there. They're very nocturnal. And then, of course, the surrounding counties out in the country and prairies and coastal marshes.
How long do they live?
The oldest one that I could Google find lived to be almost 28. And these guys are 22. 22.
We always forget.
They hatched 2001, so.
Okay.
22. So they're up there in their senior years. Obviously, in the wild, they would never have made it this long. In the wild, their lifespan is probably under 5 years because they're so at risk from eating mice or rats that have been poisoned or getting hit by cars or predators. They only weigh about a pound, so other predators can take them out, losing their habitat. They face a lot of dangers in the natural world. So these guys are definitely senior birds. But one neat thing about seeing them up close and again seeing that photograph is just the amazing pattern on their feathers. I mean, you would never, don't poop on the table, see, this way, the lighting is not the greatest, that intricate, the dots and the blacks and the golds on every feather. Don't poop on the table. You know, when you would see them at night, if ever, but to be able to see and really appreciate the patterning, it's beautiful, and it's hard to capture on paper, which is why I think with watercolor, kind of doing something more flowing and just the essence. We have a really fun event here at the Raptor Center called Raptor Photo Shoots, and we'll start those back up again in September. But we bring the birds out and perch them on, natural perches, and photographers who have fancy cameras, who are using their cell phones, whatever, I don't know if you've quote-unquote photographer, can get some really amazing photographs of these birds. So even with your cell phone, you can get amazing shots. Actually, that picture that's on your table, I took with my cell phone. So